Hey Austin Clubhouse fans, this is Ross and I'm here to introduce our newest video in honor of World Mental Health Day. In this video you will hear from our community about their experience with mental health in the Austin Clubhouse.
Hello, I'm Donna and I want to talk about the stigma of mental health. Dealing with a mental health illness is hard for most, and it has been hard with me because I have depression, anxiety, PTSD, and a lot of other things that has been affecting my life but has not stopped me. Being a person with mental health illness is very hard because a lot of people do not want to be around you or deal with you, not even knowing you as an individual. So with this being said, in the mental health world, you need to adjust and listen to people and see about the understanding of the mental health issues, because life is hard enough, and then when we are stigmatized because of what we have that is not our fault, I don't think that's right.
Hi, my name is Diane Clay, and I've been on medication for my mental diagnosis for over 30 years, and it's been very frustrating and dealing with doctors and the lack of compassion and understanding and side effects.
Hi, my name's Lauren Benish. I'm with the Clubhouse. I'm a member. I've been a part of them for about 2 or 3 years now. My experience around mental illness is that everyone thinks we're all the same.
My experience with anxiety was pretty bad because all I had was people telling me, "Are you working?" which I wasn't doing. And I had reasons for not doing it.
A struggle that a lot of people have, myself included, is that when you have a diagnosis of could be depression, anxiety, could be more severe than that, you feel like you're alone and that you're the only person that's ever had that diagnosis, when you know good and well that's not the case. It's really more, I guess the case is that you have to find community and people to share the experience with, because that's cathartic. So that's been a struggle.
Hello, I'm Wendy. My experience with mental health stigma has been when I've been on Lyft rides and I tell the driver that I have a mental health diagnosis, and they get really silent and don't talk to me after that. I'd also like to tell you about my health struggles. I've had bipolar diagnosis for most of my life, and it's been really difficult because the medications have failed over time, and I'm finally on ketamine treatment, which is really helping.
My experience with mental health, which for me, and that's kind of like included, it includes triggers. Like I said, I mean, anything, anyone, you know, it could be an animal, it could be a person, it could be a human. I mean, just could be the atmosphere. It could be, you know, that can trigger you, you know, sometimes it could be a good thing, sometimes it could be a bad thing. But when someone triggers that, like, you know, or they bring up like a certain word, or, you know, and it kind of, you feel, you know, you'll feel it, you know what I'm saying? You're just like, okay, now, you know, your heart starts pumping a little bit faster. You start, actually start thinking all these things. It could be challenging at times. You know, we use coping skills, but it is, you know, and then sometimes you'll act out. And it's not always a good thing. It's not always, I make sure it doesn't go to the extreme. That's why I got medication, you're on medication. So you don't have to act out and do these things, but sometimes you want them to know how it feels. You try to find a way to bring attention to it, to not to the extreme, but to the point to where maybe we can learn from this way. And some people learn differently, and we know that. So
I dealt with a pretty crippling 4-year depression, where it was difficult for me to have any self-confidence. I became paranoid with my work and was really suffering from isolation. And during that time, I also moved from California to Texas. And with a new job, I had no friends because we were all on the road independently for work. And so I had family members that I could connect with, but it was actually a very lonely time in my life. And also during this time, I moved to Austin and really was experiencing such social anxiety where I found that I couldn't even talk to anybody outside my family. I would go to the library and say hello to people, but that was about all the contact I could handle. And I came from a background where I used to give presentations and I was a trainer, and so I was really involved. It was definitely changing my personality. And I had a trusted peer in an industry that I had over 20 years experience in, and I shared with her that I was diagnosed with bipolar and anxiety and PTSD. And at the time I was looking for a new job. She told me that with those problems I should look outside our industry because then nobody would know if I fell down, had a hard time, or needed to stop working or something like that. I really was surprised to hear her say that. And then because I was also so depressed, it stayed in my mind. And so it was something that I also ruminated over and over with, and it did stop me from looking for work within my previous career. Even looking for work or thinking I could work became impossible.
One of my big experiences with mental health and mental illness has always been making sure to take my medications. That can be a difficult thing to do because one of the medications I take does make me very sleepy and makes it hard to get up. You know, I've always found the alternative, taking meds, would be much worse. So that's definitely something that's been very important, never to miss a dose, and also to be careful, you know, mixing the medications with, you know, alcohol or things like that.
My experiencing with the anxiety has felt like it's beating me down around my speech and has a sense of unknown with the future. I also have struggled with my anger.
My experience with anxiety involved a lot of self-doubt and people thinking that anxiety isn't real and that it's all in my head.
Now that you have heard some of the struggles of living with a mental health diagnosis, we would like to share members and staff experiences with Austin Clubhouse.
I would like to talk about my experience with the Austin Clubhouse. Being with the Austin Clubhouse has been great and wonderful with the staff and with the members because we all are together trying to achieve the same purpose in life. So with the Austin Clubhouse, I have really enjoyed being here because of socials, because of the work order day, which means we help do the work, the hiring, and everything, and that has really made me feel real positive. And I've been able to take control of a lot of situations with the works of the Austin Clubhouse.
I use the Clubhouse as my safe place to go when I'm frustrated with dealing with doctors and medication and side effects, because I get a lot of understanding and compassion from the Clubhouse that seems to be lacking in our medical community.
My experience with stigma has empowered me to help people get to know people like us and to come into our world.
My experience with Austin Clubhouse was great. I had anxiety, but no one noticed. And then basically, I got to go and find out about work. Austin Clubhouse helped me get a job at Goodwill. And I work with my anxiety, and it's great. It's not a struggle anymore with my anxiety.
Every sort of need that comes up, like the need for community, it's a struggle, but if you can find resources that are available to people more and more these days, nonprofits, you know, a program that's tailored around people with mental health diagnoses that can communicate with each other and have community, it's really kind of like a life-changing and life-affirming experience that you can turn a negative into a positive. So I hope that for everybody.
My experience working with Austin Clubhouse has been such a joy and a real blessing in that I've been able to give back to the community in ways that I wish I had had when I was diagnosed.
My experience with Austin Clubhouse has been really positive. It's been a wonderful place to go to have a purpose in my life. I run a writing class at the clubhouse, which helps people with their writing skills. I've met many people with my same diagnosis, and it's really helpful and encouraging to hear what they've been able to overcome. I also like the camaraderie that happens at the clubhouse.
My experience with Austin Clubhouse is a good experience. You feel like you're part of someone, part of community, even eating together, eating lunch together, making lunch together. It makes you feel good, like you're doing something good for the community, and you can like kind of go back home and be like, you know, I did something good today. I like being at the Austin Clubhouse, even though I have my own things to do within my life. I make sure that I at least make time, either when they do a reach out call, make sure I give them a call back and make some plans to step up and to help out.
My experience with Austin Clubhouse really has changed my life. I had been suffering from that depression, and my psychiatrist mentioned the Austin Clubhouse. And on my first day, when I could barely talk to anybody outside my family, I met this wonderful community, felt no judgment. I knew I was amongst peers that had similar diagnoses or symptoms or were on similar medications, and so I felt like I could be myself, and it really just took a load off of me. So I found community. Through the work order day, I found my purpose again, which I had been missing for about 4 years. Started out doing data entry, working on the newsletter, then got to be invited to become a facilitator for Poetry as a Tool for Wellness. It just overarching really changed my life. My confidence level was boosted up so much that in my second year as a member, they helped support me to go back to work independently, where I've now found a job and I've been working for 10 months, and it's the first time I've been working for 3.5 years. It's through the support of the clubhouse, the continued support that I get from them, that really makes working and being the best I can be at work something that I know I can do. And on my off days, I can still be part of the community because I can still do work order day projects on my day off and still feel connected, as well as facilitating Poetry as a Tool for Wellness once a month during our socials. So I feel really connected to this community. I've made great friends, even a best friend. I can't tell anybody enough about how much the clubhouse literally saved my life. So thank you, Austin Clubhouse.
So my experience with Austin Clubhouse has been really helpful, because I've met just such a wide variety of people who have had different struggles than me, and also the staff here have been just really supportive. So those would be some of the big things that come to mind.
A positive attribute about having a mental health diagnosis are the services that are out there, such as Austin Clubhouse. I'm surrounded by a community that understands that anxiety is very real, and it makes me feel less alone, and I'm very grateful for that.
My experience with the Austin Clubhouse has been positive and supportive with my communications and my building good relationships with the staff and the members.
Thanks for watching. We hope you have learned about the mental health experience in Austin Clubhouse. At Austin Clubhouse, we think every day is a good day for mental wellness. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to help spread awareness. See you soon.